Ah yes, the amazing world of Subnautica Below Zero. Here we have amazing visuals. Just look at these stunning crystal caverns, and even an amazing weather system. Just look at that moon. It's so beautiful. And here we have green lily pads? What were they thinking?
What is up, YouTube? This is Leviathan Kraken, and today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the world of Subnautica Below Zero. Now, I know that this game gets a little bit overlooked in the modding community, but there are some amazing new mods that have been out for it recently. So we're going to cover 10 new mods, and let's get started. So the first mod that we're going to be talking about is the Texture Replacer mod. Now this, among several others, were originally for Subnautica 1. They have been brought over to Subnautica Below Zero. Some of you probably already know this is one of my biggest pet peeves about Subnautica Below Zero. Green lily pads. Banana trees, elephant ears, and lily pads are kind of in the mat family. Now these plants are about 90% water, if I remember correctly. So the chances of them existing in an Arctic region are pretty much non-existent. However, my son did come up with a good idea, and he said that there's a chance that they might actually be producing their own natural antifreeze. I mean, this is an alien planet, so that would be the only possible way they can exist in a place like this. The lily pad biome was originally intended to be in Subnautica 1, but it was scrapped, and they decided to recycle it for this game. Personally, I think it should have been kept over for the next game, but that's just my opinion. So, with the Texture Replacer mod, I decided to give them a little bit more of a realistic visuals. I put a little bit of the ice textures on top, and it looks a little bit too uniform for my taste, but below that, it is like a light green. So, while it's unlikely you're going to see lily pads in a place like this anyway, I decided to give them a little bit more of a Subnautica Below Zero vibe. Let's go ahead and turn the fog off. I changed the texture on the second stage. I believe this is the second stage of growth. So it's like a light, it almost looks white, but it's like a very light green. And I debated on whether or not I should go with a light blue, or some people like Lee23 said it should be like a dark orange or yellow. Like he thought it should have more of the dead colors. But I'm not a big fan of that. So this is the color I chose. If you download the Texture Replacer mod, then you can change it to whatever color you want it to be. Also, the first stage, all right, I think that's the first stage, yeah, and I have that one the same color. Now, you can see the original color right there at the base of the stem, and I could change that, but I kind of thought it just kind of looked neat that way, so I'm going to leave it like that. And then here is the very base form right here. Also, some of you might know that I'm working on a cold version of Subnautica 1 texture pack, so you can see here that I changed the colors of the kelp zone in Subnautica 1 to make them more purple, more with a light blue on the fruit, so that way it would have more of a cold look to it. Now, the kelp zone here in Subnautica Below Zero is a very ugly yellowish orange. I mean, that's my personal opinion. I think that it just looks dead. And if you're going to have a plant like this existing in a cold water area, I would like to think that it would at least be a more believable color, because something like this could not exist here and just be dead in this state. What I might do is release a texture pack that involves the colors of the lily pads and the blue and purple that I had for the kelp zone, and release that together in one texture pack for Subnautica Below Zero, so that way you can enjoy a more colorful, vibrant, and, in my opinion, realistic version of Below Zero. Coming in at number 2, we have the sword instead of a knife. Well, basically what they did is they took the image of this knife and they stretched it to make it look like a long sword. Now, I do believe it actually does have a longer reach than the knife does, so that's pretty cool, and I believe it also does more damage. And as you can see here, here's the image for the regular knife. So this is a very interesting mod. we have here the ability to recall our Seatruck. Now, it's virtually impossible to lose anything because you have beacon for everything. You have the beacon for the Seatruck, and I can clearly see that it is about 1,200 meters away. So, unfortunately, this mod doesn't work if your Seatruck is that far away, but I spawned in another one over here. This one's about 70 meters, so if you want to do it the lazy way, you can hit recall Seatruck. And as you can see, it is slowly heading this way. So if you, for whatever reason, get sidetracked and you are hunting resources and you accidentally left your sea moth not too far away, but you know, you left it over there and you get back to your base and like, oh crap, I left my sea moth. You can recall it back to your base and it will faithfully return to you. So we're going to explore the curtains and blinds mod. This mod, as you can tell, adds curtains and blinds, but it also adds a lot more stuff than you realize. As you can see, it adds a lot to the game. So we're going to go through these one by one. These window curtains, when you first start off, you're probably thinking, well, how come it goes here but not here? Well, you're going to have to combine this with the build tweaks mod. You're going to be clicking F and then G, and that kind of locks it in place. So rough translation, it makes it to where you can place anything you want just about anywhere you want. So this is the Windows curtain here. Now let's try this one. Now, for some reason, there's a little bit of a bug here where you go to click this and it doesn't want to cooperate. It takes a few tries. I don't know, it takes like 3 or 4 clicks. But if you remain persistent, it will happen. There we go. There we go. So that's fully open. That's somewhat open. That's somewhat closed. Let's try the fully closed one. Okay, now that one did it on the first try. You can close your windows that way. Let's see. Now we have window blinds. Interesting. Okay, we have a robot arm, and we could put this anywhere we want. So wow. It almost looks like a torture chamber device. Wow. Wow, that is huge. Now that would make an interesting, interesting decoration for your base. It's a shame that this isn't functional. That would be neat if this was something that you could use to transport, to like maybe pick up large materials, kind of like the materials that you drill with your prawn suit. If you could use this to lower down and pick it up, and it could like maybe crush it and bring it to your base instead of having to use the prawn suit, that'd be cool. Box. Okay. I guess that needs to go more on the side. I'm not a certified electrician. Biodome tube. Okay, yeah, that's pretty... I wonder if you can put stuff in this. No, it's a shame you can't put vials inside of this. Security camera. Ooh. Interesting. It's a shame you can't connect this to your scanner room. That would be neat if you could. What the... Little supply chest? Okay, when they said little, they meant little. That is tiny. So this is basically everything that the blinds and curtains mod has to offer. Bookshelves, large containers here, a bunch of really cool precursor artifacts that I can't get close to for some reason. There we go. Very cool. I could make a very wicked looking base with all this stuff. That looks awesome. Oh, this is a storage container. Nice. We got a flag. You can put those on top of your base if you want. Bench. These are all of the precursor artifacts. I love the animations. That is so cool. How could you not want this mod? This is amazing. Thank you to Cookie for doing the digging through all of the prefabs that Unknown Worlds did not use and putting them into this mod. What is this? Huh. It's almost like it's turning the pages of a book in a way. Delta State. I don't know why that's like transparent right there. We have all of the tablets you can have laying around if you want to. This is actually the console from the underwater wreckage. And of course, we've got this, another one, and of course, how could I forget, the good old Reaper skull. This is giving me an idea. I've got it looking like the catacombs of Paris over here. Got me an evil looking base. Also, there are these architect statues that you can have, or precursor statues that you can put anywhere you want. They look really cool. I put some of these like on a pedestal. Oh man, that is so wicked. It's like a collection of my trophy of kills. Alright, so this one is labeled as precursor greenhouse. The hitbox on it is a little odd. Okay, there we go. We got inside, but it's kind of difficult to walk through. Very beautiful. Wow. So this is apparently something that was taken out of the game. And Kuke is the modder that went in and did the digging to find some of these prefabs that were removed. Really cool. And I managed to get this on the surface of the water. But like I said, the hitbox is a little weird because you can't walk through some areas. Yeah, I can walk through the center, but I can't like walk right there. And this, if I can get through here, this is the dock. Yeah, it's a little buggy, but I managed to get this. Yeah, there we go. I managed to get a dock. It'd be nice if we had something like this for the Altera Sea Voyager in Subnautica 1. Do you need more lockers? Well, this mod right here adds several different new lockers to the game. So, remember the girl locker? And it is fully functional. You can put stuff in it. There's a small crate. We have a supply crate. Whoa. Oh, okay. Wow, that's almost like a wall. Big box. Took a while to build. It's just a... Oh, this is the box from underwater in the shipwrecks. Okay, because I can tell it looks rusty. Large... Whoa. This is large. Large supply crate. Wow, that is huge. And of course, it acts as a container. But you know what? I just thought of something. Let me try this. Horizontal wall. Oh, it works. Look at this. Nice. You could build this as a container and then have several containers on top of it. And, you know, come to think of it, on top of the lily pads would be a great spot to have an extra storage container for whenever you're not close to your base. Okay, well, I went a little bit overboard. But, hey, look at that. I mean, if you need some storage, you got storage right there. You can put as many lockers as you want up against this thing. And then it, too, is a container. So, wow, that is a very useful mod. Have you ever wondered why you can hold a thermal blade in your hand in a cold environment and still be freezing? Well, with this particular mod right here, you can actually use your thermal blade to warm yourself up. Yep, you press G. Ooh, that kind of hurt. All right, so let's try it one more time. Let's just try tapping the button. Ooh. Okay, so apparently the way that it works is it heats you up, but at the cost of a little bit of health. So much like the Crash Fish Challenge in Subnautica 1, we have the HippyDippy Challenge, they call it, because you're going to be seeing all kinds of psychedelics. Oh man, I can't get away from this guy. Oh, golly. They are all over the place. Everywhere. Good luck playing the game like this, because this is definitely cursed. Can I make it to the surface? Oh, man. Yeah, I'm actually tempted to do a playthrough like this, because this would be very difficult to progress anywhere. They are all over the entire map. This is insane. No, no, no. This mod right here is called the Re-Added Items. Now this Cookie did some digging. That's the modder's name. He did some digging to find prefabs that have been taken out of the game. I'm going to go over the list one by one. Now, first of all, we have, of course, the radio. Now, the radio, there aren't any pre-recorded messages in this game, so this is just decoration. But if you want a radio, well, you got a little bit of extra wall decoration. Now, the medical kit fabricator, I never knew this, but apparently they took it out of the game. So, yeah, that's actually functional. And so we have here, now this is interesting. We have a weather forecast system. Now, I'll show you this just real quick. You have to put this on top of your base, some kind of like, I think this is supposed to be if you're outside, but I'm underwater, so I put a weather balloon. Yeah, you're supposed to put a weather balloon attached to the base. It provides wind speed. Well, that should be if you're not in water, obviously. But this is a weather station that you're going to have to attach to the top of your base. And this, it'll tell you the forecast. Light snow, calm. Outside, light snow, 24 degrees. So I'm assuming 24, that's like, what, 70-something Fahrenheit? So that probably is just the temperature of the outside water because I'm in the, like, lower lily pad biome. Now this I thought was kind of weird. Inside, you can currently 25 degrees Celsius, and I can crank this all the way up. So, I mean, that's like what, 100-something degrees? I don't think anything physically changes in your room if you crank the temperature up or down, but I thought that was kind of an interesting thing to see in this game, or you could control the inside temperature. So anyways, moving on to that, we have some decorations that this mod particularly brings. Jacksepticeye, his decoration right here, that looks like some kind of art that I usually do, but that would be kind of neat to make. I don't really know some of these YouTubers. Oh, and look at that. Now we have our very own custom Leviathan Kraken plaque. Can't be advertising these other YouTubers now, can we? I think it looks better than theirs anyway. Also, here we have the repulsion cannon. Now, this was taken out of Below Zero. I'm going to be honest. This is an item that I literally never built in Subnautica 1, so I'm not really that familiar with it. We also have the stasis rifle. Now, I was actually talking to the modder about this one, and because of the fact that the character only holds out one hand instead of using two hands to hold it, looked kind of funny. So he reduced the size of the length of the rifle to make it look more like a handgun. So this has been, I don't know why they took it out of Below Zero. You know, it's one of those things at first I never even noticed until I read it. But now that we have this mod, we can bring it back into the game. Moving on, we have something here that was taken out called the wall foundation. Now this right here, you can actually build on the side of a cliff. So, it's transferring the power. So you can pretty much, kind of like the terraforming ability, you can actually build something into the wall. And if you wanted to, let's see, this might be a little bit too big for it. Let's try, yeah, you could have a base right there on the side of a cliff. And let's see, we could also, you could have like little stair steps going down. That's very convenient, very useful tool. That way you're not limited to only being able to put your bases in certain places. I think that would be really, really useful to have. And lastly, with this mod, we have the phase gate. Now this is an item that they took out that he found as a prefab. Now you can use this to go from one base to the next. Check this out. very convenient. Wow. And this base, of course, is not that far away, so I don't know exactly how much of a range it will have, but I could not get it to work by putting a phase gate outside, like out in the water. That will not work. So I believe it has to be powered up, but it will not work underwater. So still, very convenient to be able to go from one base to the next. I love that. Love the design too. Now, you've all seen the custom posters mod for Subnautica 1, but what makes the custom posters mod for Subnautica Below Zero so special are several different options. Other than the posters themselves, we have picture frames that you can actually place on your desk, and then over here I can make custom bed sheets. Completely customized bed. Isn't that so cool? I think this one turned out so, just absolutely amazing. Like, it looks wonderful. I'm so happy the way that turned out. Yes, you can put your own custom pictures on your bed sheets, and you can have your own pictures on there if you want to. I think this is... I wish that these options were for Subnautica 1, but if you have Below Zero modded, then you definitely need to download this to customize your base. Now, this is a shader, and it is called Subtle Ray Tracing. Now, it's literally so subtle that I wasn't sure if it was working or not. But then I began to notice extra reflections in different surfaces. So if you can see some in the distance on the floor, you can see more reflections off of this surface right here. You can see them on the floor as well. So if you have a GPU that has ray tracing capabilities, I would definitely look into this. Now, the problem is, for me, the installation process was a bit vague. So thankfully, there was a commenter on the Nexus mods page, and I will link this in the description, that he made his own YouTube video that shows you step by step how to install this shader. So the YouTuber's name is Splat. Thank you so much, Splat, for providing that tutorial. But that is all we have for today, guys. These were 10 of the latest Subnautica Below Zero mods. I promise to cover more mods in the future and anything related to Subnautica. So until then, peace out.